legal genius.
It's a bit fruity for lunchtime, you know, all of a sudden.
Patty, how many hits on TikTok have I had now?
Oh, I think we're nearly 4,000 on that one little clip where you're singing your
God.
jingle.
I'll do another one before the end for you if you like.
This is what kills me. We put all our brains into it, try and be as he sings a song, boom, it's a hit. Fantastic. It's life, isn't it? Give the people what they want, not what you think they want. Give them what they want. That's what they want.
Like the old Roman sayings.
Ain't that the truth?
What?
Like the old Roman sayings when everybody used to be in the Colosseum and they used to give the people what they want. It's what they said on the Gladiator.
The Latin is panem et circenses.
Oh, that's very impressive, Russ.
Bread and circuses. What do they want? They want food. They want entertainment. That's what they want.
Yes. And I think it's one of the hashtags I put on that video, Neil, where I said hashtag something funny. And people just Google something funny.
Of course they do.
You know, I just want to hear something funny.
Of course they bloody do, because we're all just struggling and everybody wants to be amused. Why do you think social media loves cats and dogs? They get like a gazillion hits because it's funny and it's not going to punch you in the face. Francois Pascal says, I've never been called that. I love it. With 3 kisses. So, Yabu sucks. All you wokies.
You were going to ask me something, Russ.
I am asking you. This is my question. And it's a huge thing, but it would only take 5 hours, but we haven't got it. I think we have 2 opposing views, myself and Neil. I think life is a complete random lottery. That's it.
I heard you say that earlier, yeah.
Neil thinks life is very intelligent and disagrees.
But when you went to see Deepak Chopra,
why you're here. What do you think?
I don't think it's a random lottery. I think it's what you make it. I think it's how you visualize it, how you see it, what you see through your lens. So what you see through your lens may be very different to what I see through my lens or what Neil sees through his lens. If, for example, this show, there's 4 of us here, we're all having different thoughts and feelings right now. So it's what it is to you. If you say life just happens to me, that means you're just being reactive to life. That's my
And you will experience life in that way.
In a reactive way. You're constantly reacting. You're reacting to the problems. You're reacting to the issues, the bills, the difficult situations.
And you will be in that sympathetic nervous system and never be able to do the healing, rest and digest. If you have a perception that life, no matter what
just happens to you. Yeah. You've got to... Sorry, I was just going to say, Neil, you've got to let you have got to happen to life. Don't let it just happen to you. There's always going to be the challenges, and it's how you view the challenges. And one of the things that I'm taking away massively from Eckhart Tolle, and I know you guys have heard me mention him before, is you to learn to be able to say it is what it is. Right?
Oh, I
situation,
say
you have to participate sometimes. It's as simple as, I'm really hungry. But if you're going to sit there and not even cook anything or eat an apple, then of course you're going to be really hungry. You need to do something with it.
And
don't let life just happen to you.
I think there's a slight misunderstanding. I just want to clarify. Then we get on to your legal stuff because I can't wait.
No, I think this should be the topic. I'm loving it.
It's this. I'm not suggesting that you just sit there like a sponge, like some sort of dummy, and let life keep hitting you in the face and you go, "Ooh, this isn't very good."
Pause
I'm not suggesting
for a second,
that at all.
But you are when you say it's a crazy, it's just there. So if you say it's there.
But no. 2 things running in parallel. All right, I'm just talking for myself. I'm not being prescriptive. I'm just talking about from my own perspective. 2 things. 1, I'm very driven. I think my gang knows that. I'm very focused. Yes. Still ridiculously ambitious. Yes. Still optimistic. Yes.
Love it.
Of course, all of those things. Totally so. But when the shit hits the fan, I don't think it's part of some fantastic plan. It's like, oh, crap. Now what? Okay, well, we'll get through this crap period, which I'm going through at the time. What's the matter? What?
I'm raising my hand because I want to say something, but I don't want to talk over everyone else.
No, go ahead. Neil Long wearing a suit I think he does it for you.
I love it. I love it. Vaping in the car. I love Neil's backgrounds.
Right.
Sorry.
So if it's all about perception, we know people have different belief systems. All right. We can accept that, and different filters. All right. Some people, beliefs are strong things. People will experience beliefs as reality until they can see through their filter that it is just a belief, and that's not necessarily a universal truth for everybody. Okay. And at that point, people could start to reevaluate and, maybe discard some of the beliefs they took on growing up as childhood, one of which is the victim mindset, or the victim trance, if you like. And that's life is a random crapshoot and is happening against me. Okay. I am a victim to this.
No, you're conflating.
Am I?
I think we need a massive debate on this topic because it's very interesting.
Right, let's have it. We'll have it, but we've got to move on to you. You're conflating two things here. What I'm saying is the events, like my wife getting cancer or whatever it is, that's random. I'm not saying, oh shit, that's happened to me. It hasn't happened to me. It didn't happen to her. It's what happens. And what I'm saying, in an instant like that, Neil, it's no good looking for signs and portents and, looking at the entrails of doves on an altar.
No. And that's not what I'm saying either. All I'm saying is that belief systems are very strong. A lot of people, and I'm not saying you, Russ, but are in the kind of I'm a victim of life mindset.
Oh God, no. No.
Some people, like Hattie says, is life happening to me, or am I happening to life? Go Hattie. No. Or you could say all the events in my life are somehow happening for me, for a higher good. You could choose to believe that. All of those options are available to believe. It's a question of choice.
Just to add to that, Neil, I totally agree with that. Your mindset, and you guys touched on it earlier, your mindset is what it's all about. Your mindset, and I referred to it as your lens, but for me, it's the same thing. Your mindset will change how bad the bad is, if it's in bad at all, your recovery time, your recovery period, how you digest that, how you deal with it in your nervous system, whether it's that fight or flight moment, or whether you're just saying, right, I'm just going to acknowledge it. It is what it is. And I'm going to take first I'm going to take a minute at a time, then an hour at a time, then a day at a time.
Well done. Yes.
At a time.
Yeah. Bite-sized chunks.
If any of that makes sense.
That really
no, it does. It does. Anyway, we got to get on to you. She's chatty, not scatty. She's the lovely Hattie. She makes the law fun. She's our number one.
So how do I make warranty versus statutory rights?
Out of commercial road.
Busting the myths and what you need to know. How do I make that sexy, interesting, and exciting without you guys? I can't. So this is absolutely a team effort. I want full cooperation.
You have it. Okay. I never thought I'd be hired to sex up the law, but there you go.
We're here to sex up the law.
I sex the law and the law won.
When we do that, we hopefully deliver it. We package it and deliver it in a way where people think, oh, remember that. And that's all I want. I want people to remember these things. I love that.
He has been warned.
Yes. I want people to remember these things when they need them, because it can be a game changer. There's lots of myths about warranty and statutory rights. Most people don't even know what is meant by a statutory right. So the first thing I'd like to say, guys, again, I'm trying to jazz it up, okay, and make it sound interesting, is the difference between a guarantee and a warranty. Very simply, in one sentence, the main difference is that a guarantee is free and a warranty typically has a premium.
Yes.
All right. So 3 points to know about a warranty. Yes. With a warranty, it is not a legal requirement to be provided to you by the seller. Most people don't know that. They think, well, everything's got a warranty. The seller does not legally need to provide you with a warranty. If your warranty has been provided by the seller, then that forms a legal contract from the seller to you, assuring you that what you're buying is free from defects. And it is also a promise to you to rectify a faulty good by repairing it or replacing it, and typically lasts anything between 12 months and 2 years. So what do we mean by statutory rights, right? And I'm not saying you guys don't know what it means, but I just want to clarify what it means. So you may have seen
I don't know.
You don't know? Okay. Do you know, Neil, what a statutory right is?
I see it on things all the time. Does not affect your statutory rights. I've seen that ever since I was a child, and I don't know what it means, but I feel I'm about to learn. So what rights have never been affected that I never knew existed?
Well, this is what's really interesting about this. It's actually quite funny as well, because we've seen it everywhere. I mean, it's on crisps, cereal boxes. It's even on like a shampoo bottle. You can return this. You can make a complaint about this, but this will not affect your statutory rights. You never read, actually, no one will have ever seen where your statutory rights would be affected. Because when you're buying goods, you're automatically protected by a number of laws, and retailers use that sentence. Actually, what they're referring to is the Consumer Rights Act 2015, but they use that sentence bizarrely because it's loose language that companies use without thinking, because you automatically have a right under the Consumer Rights Act. So your rights can't be affected because you've raised the complaint or you've asked for a refund.
No.
It shouldn't even be there. It's a no-nonsense statement. Our statutory rights are the minimum rights guaranteed to customers, to us as consumers, governed by our laws. And this right falls into, as I said earlier, the Consumer Rights Act 2015. So saying that your rights cannot be and will not be affected, it's factually incorrect.
Mm.
So
they're trying to.
I always thought that when you go to, not necessarily crisps or whatever, because you just think, oh, I like them or I don't. But if you're buying, say, a dishwasher, for example, and you think, well, to my mind, the most basic thing is you're protected under the Consumer Rights Act, as you mentioned. And equally, if it's not fit for purpose, so it's not washing your dishes, then you have a right to complain about it and to have some form of recompense, whether it's a replacement or a refund or whatever, because that's already in law.
Yeah, absolutely. So to say it's not going to affect your statutory rights, which are your minimum guaranteed rights in law, is a nonsense, because nothing can affect your minimum guaranteed rights in law.
Mm.
So the basic 3 points on statutory rights, just to bear this in mind, and I'm going to give you some real live examples that can actually be applied to everyday life that we've probably all been through. Okay, so your rights are governed by law. You have a legal right to a refund within 30 days for a faulty good, no matter what the retailer says. If something is faulty, you have 30 days. You have a legal right to a refund.
So Hattie, can I jump in and ask that you go and you buy? It doesn't matter what it is. Let's say you buy a kettle. I don't know. Pick it. I'm just using that as an example. It could be a microwave. Don't give a care. Don't care. Right. It doesn't work. You take it back to shop. You take it back to Long Electrical Limited. And say, oh, you've used it. Oh no, look, and they give you every runaround. What do?
You have a legal right to a full refund within 30 days as part of your statutory rights. What you do is you say to them, Consumer Rights Act 2015, my statutory rights, full refund, and within 30 days, this item is defective. Thank you very much. Can I speak to a manager, please?
How far can you take it?
Exactly that.
It's a legal requirement. Thankfully, quite simply, the law takes over any retailers, any sellers, anything they have to say. Policies, this is our policy, this is what we're allowed to do. Because in short, what you just said is exactly what I was going to come on to. You often hear we don't offer refunds on defective goods.
Always.
Or we can only offer an exchange or a credit note, or even better, this is the one I love the most, you're out of warranty. Remember, your statutory rights protect you. Okay, because warranty does not have to be provided to you. It's not legally a requirement for the seller to provide you with warranty. And as I've already mentioned, as a consumer, you're automatically protected under your statutory rights. So even though a business is not legally entitled to give you a warranty, they cannot fob you off with their T's and C's of how they do business. Let me give you some examples of how your statutory rights cover you and bust some big myths, right? Apple products. We either all have one, or know someone that has one. There's over 1.8 billion Apple products in circulation, but most people don't know that if their Apple product becomes defective, i.e. stops working as it used to, starts to come up with defects, you're covered up to 6 years from the date that you've purchased your product.
What?
Yes.
6 years?
6 years. And just importantly to note, in Scotland, it's 5 years. Because you're protected.
They're Scottish, who cares? Why?
Hey, don't say that. Because you're protected
under
the Consumer Rights Act 24.
Under the patio.
Another show.
No, I don't care. Lovely mobile home. Lovely.
You are protected. Ow. You're protected under your statute. Put the claws away. I know that animals do well and all that stuff, but we're here to try and say
why. So Apple product 6 years.
If it's defective, if it stops working, okay. We're not talking about wear and tear, but it's chipped or the glass is cracked or on its own or whatever. Defective, stops working, starts to come up with defects on their own website, Russ. It tells you about your statutory rights, and it tells you that you have up to 6 years to make a claim on Apple's own website.
Anecdotally, people I know with Apple products, they have the runaround. They get the runaround even if they bought it directly from an Apple shop.
That's why they're multi-billionaires.
It's unresolved. I wouldn't buy anything again.
Well, they got sued in the European country because the devices kept slowing down.
May I ask a question?
Sorry. Yes, of course.
Thank you. It's this. There is a whole rumor that there is built-in obsolescence put in software, whether it's true or not. I don't know. Right. As the new software comes in, slow.
They were.
All of us know that our computers get slower over years. Is that? Can we get our money back?
You just chopped up a bit there, but there is a European country where they collectively successfully sued Apple because people's products were slowing down. I had an iPad that I almost put in the bin because the new apps were not compatible with the software that I had running.
Don't put it in the bin. It makes a great chopping board.
But hold on. Is that a defect? That's called evolution of the product, right?
Yes, it is.
Well, there you go. What's he stick? I didn't catch it.
I'm laughing because he said to you, "Don't throw your iPad away. Makes a great chopping board."
Mr. Technical himself over there.
Yes, I'll think about coming over to your house for a meal, Neil.
Anytime, Hattie.
Do you use your iPad as a chopping board?
My old one, yes.
Oh, well, there you go. Let me give you some interesting little points to remember.
Salads at Neil's house are fantastic.
Yes, because I made them.
Oh, there you go.
Precisely so. We know that.
Right. We're going over.
All right. Okay. So you freaked me out with this. I didn't know, Hattie. This is all legal gold as far as I'm concerned. It's terrific stuff. So we've got the idea of the warranty. We've got the idea of the statutory rights.
Got the idea of the guarantee. Please. Yes. Let me give you some interesting points to remember, and I'm going to bust some myths now. Okay. So we've probably all at some point heard shop staff say, you can only return that with a receipt. That is false. You only need a proof of purchase. So your bank statement or credit card statement, provided you obviously paid by those means, that shows your purchase would absolutely suffice.
Yes.
Okay. Sale items can't be returned. They actually go out of their way, these retailers, and have these big boards and signs. Cannot return a sale item. False. You have the same rights in the sales as you do any other time. So don't let them fob you off with that one. We only give credit notes.
Why is it? I've got to ask a question. Hattie, can I ask a question?
Yes.
I'm just fascinated that I am hearing this, and I think Liz and Neil probably will back me up or not. I'm hearing this for the first time. I've never heard this before. Ever. Never heard this before. It's extraordinary. Wow. It's amazing. We don't know. We've been conned.
I had heard quite a bit of this, but because I studied bits of law at university as part of my politics degree. And B, my mum, as Neil and others will tell you, is a great consumer crusader. So she made it her business to find out some of these finer points, like, for example, you don't have a receipt, you've still got proof of purchase on your credit cards and things like that. When she absolutely got going, if something was faulty and you were listening to mum on the phone in crusade mode, you would take cover because you really began to feel sorry for the hapless person on the other end of the telephone. But she always got it sorted.
That's what my children do.
It's because it's a pain in the bum to do it.
They either say, "Mum, are you going to return? We'll meet you in the store next door when you're done." Or if I'm on the phone, they say, "Please go into the other room and have your call." But you're right.
Can you imagine being Hattie's kids? Hattie's on full attack mode in a
my
shop.
eldest is 16.
Jeez,
so
that would be great.
So one day I'm going to have him tell his story about being my child and how he's had to listen. I mean, I've gone through hotels. Oh, I can't even say it. So, okay. So then what did we say? We said, if somebody says that they only give credit notes, they can't give you anything else. Again, remember, the retailer, the seller, does not make the laws. The law overrides them, and that is false. If an item is defective and returned within 30 days, the seller must give you a refund if that's what you would like. That's what our laws say, full stop, period. One of the other very common ones that a lot of people have heard, I certainly have they've tried to fob me off with this, is you have to contact the manufacturer. False. Your contract is with the seller, and they are therefore legally liable to sort it out. So if
did that include all the flights? You know, when people booked all the flights before the pandemic and everyone's trying to get their money back and they're offering credit notes, does that count for that as well?
By the way, I did so many podcasts during pandemic on actually flights and refunds. You don't need to accept a credit note. You don't need to accept a voucher. You can ask for a refund and get a refund because they're not your bank, right? So they shouldn't be holding on to your 300, 400. Sometimes it's a couple of £1,000 if you book for a holiday. It happened to me. I had to initial an online claim. They paid as soon as the claim was issued. It's done online. It's very quick. And they also paid the court issue fee as well. And the time I had to take to do that.
And that makes things a lot easier these days. But, you know, a lot of people... Yeah. They can't be bothered, you know, because they think, oh, well,
they don't know how to,
and it's not really.
They don't know how to, Liz.
Also, Hattie and Liz, it's so convincing when these, and it's a con. Let's be honest, it is a con. You can dress it up any way you like, but they're lying to you.
Well, they are.
Although they don't think they're lying to you, but they are lying to you.
But hold on, they can have their rules, but they can't override the law. And what they're banking on is your knowledge of being only what they tell you. No refunds, no returns on sale items. You know, all of this stuff. You have to have a receipt.
What about
we can't deal with it.
How do we get round? Let's deal with the sale item for a second because it's a common thing. There's a bloody great sign. You go into anything to buy some trousers.
Marks and Spencer.
Well, wherever, and it's got a big thing and it says no refund, and they will say to you, but you saw the sign, we made it very, very clear, you bought it under those conditions that we set. You still can get around it.
Okay, if you bought the item and the defect came about after you bought it, so say that it was sold as a damaged item, there's a big sign, damaged item, price reduced as a result. That's different. That's different, Russ. You can't say, I know that damage exists. I go home, I don't want that damage. If you bought it, you go home and then you see the damage or the damage occurs within 30 days, your statutory rights, which is what I keep banging on about, protect you. You go back to the store because the law, remember, overrides any retailer, any seller. Yes.
And that's probably that's probably the key takeaway from this, isn't it? No matter what the retailer tells you, the law, it's under that umbrella of the law, and that's the end of the matter.
Exactly right. And now I've often been asked by people, but what if the product is not faulty? Can I still get a refund automatically within 30 days if I've changed my mind? The answer is no, you can't get a refund. If the store says our policy is not to give you a refund if you change your mind within 30 days, there is nothing in law that will come in and say, well, just because you've changed your mind, the retailer or the seller has to give you a refund. No.
After 30 days.
Within 30 days.
Right.
So you can't just change your mind and go back to the store and say, I want a refund. If their policy is not to give you a refund, then you're not going to get a refund. The law doesn't. Do you get that?
Let me just clarify that. So
yes,
this is within 30 days. They have to give you a refund if it's faulty.
If it's faulty. If it's faulty.
But if you just think, oh, you know, a bit of buyer remorse, I don't want it anymore, then they don't.
Yes, exactly.
What if something doesn't fit? For example, Russ talked about trousers. You think, oh, yes, that's fine. And often during sale time, you can't use the changing room. So shut the changing room. So you have to take the item home with you, try it on. Trousers are too big, too small. Because you're not really changing your mind. It's not fit for your purpose.
It's not fit for your purpose, but it's not defective. So if it's not defective and they don't offer refunds, you are not entitled to a refund within 30 days. You're only entitled to a refund within 30 days if the item is defective and the store says, we don't give you refunds. Our laws override that. And they will say, no, it has to be defective to get a refund within 30 days. You've got the 6-year cover on anything if it becomes defective. This is why I mentioned Apple as one of the, because I've had Apple products that just fizzle out on, you know, it's happened, I think, to everybody, either we know or it's happened to us. But where to get free confidential help and advice. Okay, there's a lot, these things very long. CTSI, the Chartered Trading Standards Institute, which is www.tradingstandards.uk. They provide a wealth of free information and free advice on your consumer rights. So you can call up and say, look, this is what I bought. This is the situation. This is what's happened. Also, the International Consumer Centre. Yes, tradingstandards.uk. Or the International Consumer Centre, free and impartial, advice, ukecc.net. Both of those places you can get free advice and help from if any issue, no matter how big or small. You can call up and say, look, this is what's happened. So Trading Standards is just one word there. So it's www.tradingstandards, which is one word, .uk. So, yes, I hope we made it sexy.
Would you like a jingle? Would you like a jingle before you go?
Always want a jingle.
All right. So here we go. Here's the jingle. She is H-A-T-T-I. She is H, has your back. She is A plus knowledge. She is T, tells it as it is. She is T, totally equal. She is I. Think she rocks. Hattie.
Thank you, Neil. That's so original. That's so original. I love it. Listen, 10
I'm
out
a
of 10
TikTok
sensation. TikTok sensation.
Unbelievable.
Here we come.
Hattie Suvari of Get Legally Speaking, thank you so much. Special guest Liz Saul, always a welcome addition. Neil, we don't know where you are, but getting ready for the coronation. You're outside Buckingham Palace, so you've got great parking spot. Well done. We'll be back on Friday. Hattie, thank you so much. And then, as I always say, trying to keep out of trouble. Bye, gang. Bye-bye.
Bye.